Welcome to the MRBC League, everyone. I'm Harry78, and today we're watching the first game played in the league in Division C of the North American Division. Headhunters of Davion's 6th Brigade, California Conquerors versus Robinson Rangers Brigade. The first drop is a reconnaissance engagement where we will see 8 lights and 4 mediums with no more than 3 of any variant, and 6 ECM mechs are required. Headhunters of Davion went with 1 Kentaro 18, 3 Shadow Hawks 2D2s, 3 Spiders, 3 Raven 3Ls, 1 Jenna D and 1 Ember. Robinson Rangers brought 1 Griffin 1N, 2 Shadowhawk 2D2s, 1 Trebuchet 7M, 3 Ravens, 3 Spiders, 1 Oxide and 1 Firestarter. You can see there on the lights they're well matched, like they've gone for the same thing, but the mediums are slightly different. But what we're going to see is a lot of streaks, trying to get that ECM superiority and taking down all this light mix with the streaks. Headhunters here start moving out. They use their spiders. Both teams use their spiders as their scouts. It makes a lot of sense. They're really hard to hit. Very thin, very small mech. So here you can see Headhunters bringing the spiders up to the ridge while the main force starts moving up to B4. And here you can see what the spider can do. You can just jump. You can have a look. You can check loadouts of mechs. You can check what types of mechs they're doing. He's in very little danger, especially in this drop here. We switch to Robinson Rangers. They slightly move out differently here. They've got a lance that moves over to the ridge. They're preparing to hit them from the front. They've got a lance that's moved to the cave just to check they're not being flanked. And this spider here, these spider pilots are good. He's got his legs ready to leg it out of there if they see anything coming through. What Robinson Rangers are doing here is they're moving a Raven force down the generality round the enemy. They're clearly planning to hit them from 3 sides basically at the same time. And this is a tricky move to pull off because you've got to time it just right. You've got to make sure everyone's in the right position. Everyone's going to hit at the same time. But if you can pull it off, it really sends the enemy in disarray. You know, they're being hit from all sides. Backs are being hit. But Headhunters of Davion spot this. And they've got really good scouting. They've got guys that are watching the ridge. They've seen the Ravens go past. And this is a great opportunity now because they've found a part of the force that's split up. And they start moving that force in to intercept the Ravens. And this puts Robinson Rangers in a really bad spot. They've caught out 4 mechs on their own, and they're hit. Headhunters are going to hit them with their full force, so they're going to take a lot of damage here. So this is a real decider. You can see them now. They're being hit, the Ravens. Spiders coming in now. They're losing eyes on the ridge, but it doesn't matter. You know, you might as well get as much damage on these guys as you can. They're trying to get out now, the Robinson Rangers Ravens, but this is going to be a lot of damage they don't want to take early. The rest of the force start moving in, Robinson Rangers, but it's maybe a little too late here. They managed to get an early kill. Headhunters are 1-0 up. Here comes Robinson Rangers. They've got a force coming out of the tunnel here from the cave, and they've got the force of Shadowhawks that started coming over the ridge. The trouble is here, because they're hitting from all angles, they've not really got focus fire on any target. He's hitting targets of opportunity here, and you can see that there's going to be damage spread all over the place, and you really need to take down firepower of the enemy. This spider's running away from a Raven here. He really does not want to have a Raven on his back. Them streaks are going to tear him up. It's about the one thing the spider's going to be scared of. He uses the ridge here in the building well to try and get away from him. But this initial damage they've got on the Ravens, I think, is really going to hurt them. You see he's now trying to takes out that medium nice there. Really good battle going on here. He's trying to survive because of this Raven on his back. His legs caught now. He's in trouble. Still no focus fire here though, and I think that's, you know, it's going to pay for them in the end if they don't take the firepower off the field. Headhunters are doing a really good job now. They're taking them mechs out, taking firepower off the field. Here you can see Headhunters, they're trying to take these mediums down. With these mediums up, it's still scary because there's a lot of streaks to worry about. If they can use their ECM well, Robinson Rangers, they can still get them streaks on the mechs and start bringing them down. They are 5-3 up now, actually, Headhunters of Davion. There's one of the mediums gone there, his legs are gone. Some nice little hops here, making himself a really difficult target, but his legs as well are going, probably from them streaks. Trying to take that second medium down. He's nearly gone, you know, like with them legs, red armour, it's not going to take a lot to take him out. But while he's up, he's a huge danger, so they want to be focusing on taking that guy's legs out. There we go, look at those legs. They just need to rip him up now. The last leg, that's another medium down. Yeah, Headhunters have got this really nice now. They've just lost a mech there. But no, this is looking really confident now. 10-5 up. It's just a clean-up job. There, that Raven probably took a lot of damage at the start there. And now just finish off the upper mech. You see, this match was won by scouting on the day. Brilliant job from the Spiders and from the guys watching the alley. They know that keep an eye out and then capitalise by taking out part of their force. Well, what a great first match. The California Conquerors are 1-0 up. Let's see if things change as the war escalates. Now we move on to the second drop of the match, the Recon Impulse. Both sides will have 4 lights, 4 mediums and 4 heavies. There's no restrictions on availability. Headhunters of Davion went with 2 Ilium Muramets, 2 Orion Protectors, 4 Shadow Hawks, and I know some of them got triple AC2s. That's a lot of DPS if they can keep it on target. Got 3 Raven 3Ls and 1 Spider. A lot of ECM on the field there. Robinson Rangers of Brigade have gone for a different kind of setup here. They've gone for 2 Firebrands and 1 Jaeger S, and I know that some of them are sporting some Gauss. That's a lot of long range firepower. You do not want to be hit by that. It's a big hit. Well, they've also got 1 Cataphract 4X. That's some kind of Dakar mech, like lots of ballistics on that mech, so just laying down suppressive fire. They've got 2 Griffins, they've got 2 Shadowhawks, 2 Jenners and 2 Spiders. Let's see how it plays out. You start off quite split up on this map, so here we can see Robinson Rangers. They converge on about E6 with their main force and they send their lights on the left here. It's quite a nice position. They've got a lot of visibility across the map. As they move up, they'll be telling the rest of the guys whereabouts they're at, what they've got. And here you'll see him set up the Spider here. And look at that visibility. He's telling them whereabouts on the map they are. He just checked the map for the position. He's saying whereabouts they are, what they've got. So now Robinson Rangers can respond. And they're moving up to E6 a bit, probably to try and get a few of them Gauss shots off. Headhunters of Davion are moving up to that kind of F5 position. It's near the centre of the map, near the to the right of the big Stargate looking area. And here we can see this Spider just able to jump in, just telling them what they've got. They use these Spiders really well for scouting. He's clicking through the mechs there, because what that does is it shows up to his entire team whereabouts they are on the map. So almost as good as putting a UAV up doing that. You see a few RT. Actually, in this drop, you're only allowed airstrikes, so there's no RTs, but they're just trying to get a little bit of initial damage there with the airstrikes. Not sure. Yep, there we go. Nice hit there from the airstrike. That was well placed. Now they're moving up their force. They've moved them up. They don't want to move into E6 because they've seen a lot of their force there. They've moved them down into that valley to the right, which is about F6 kind of area. But obviously with the scouting Robinson's Rangers have got, they can see that they're doing that. They're moving their force over to start preparing for them to come up that way, getting a bit of initial damage from their Gauss mechs, no doubt. So they're a bit of a tough position, Headhunters of Davion, down there, because it's a hard place to assault from, because you're going to funnel through as you come up there, and if they're ready for it, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Here Robinsons are preparing. You can see on the mini map there that their heavies are preparing to stop them being able to advance up there. There's a bit of initial damage going off there. Shadowhawk 2D2 firing off AC2s. He's going to get out of there. That Spider, he's going to gain nothing by keep looking at him there. Robinson Rangers now just firing off some Gauss rounds. hurting them a bit, and this is where you don't really want to be down in that valley, because they're able to use that cover either side, just pop, get some Gauss rounds off, and that's a 30 damage alpha, and then duck back into cover. Not going to take a lot of damage in return. And I think now you're going to watch the California Conquerors try and get out of that valley. It's not a good place to be. Here we go. You see them run into the side there. They don't want to be in there. I think Robinson Rangers here are going to be coming off a lot better in this exchange, especially as the AC2s, they're only going to get a little bit of damage before they duck back into cover. It's a lot of DPS, but it's got to hold it on target. And now they start moving up in towards E6 round the side. Here, the headhunters, they've spotted it coming, Robinsons, and I don't think they want to be there. They're going to get a little bit of damage, make them pay a bit. And I think this is where the range of them Gauss mechs are really helping them. But now you can see them, they start retreating. They don't want to be out there. There's that Catfact 4X shooting away there. That's a nice little DPS mech. But they're going to be retreating around that corner now and being chased by the California Conquerors. They look like they're all preparing for them to come round. And here we go, here we go. You can see the California Conquerors coming up now. They're going to start advancing on their mechs. Oh, he's getting some nice damage on the back there, the Spider. I love the way the Spider does this. This is brilliant. He's just getting, he's prodding, he's getting his damage out with them 3 medium pulse lasers, but not running into the midst of them. He's not going to take like a Gauss round. Keep jumping around, hopping, turning. It's so hard to hit them. Now what they're not seeing, the headhunters here, is that they're going to be coming up into this firing line. Look at how they're set up there. They really don't want to walk into that. That's a lot of damage they're going to be taking, whoever's going around that corner first. And here we go, we've got mechs coming out around now. You need all the firepower on these, otherwise you're going to be losing mechs. And here we go, we start seeing mechs dropping for California Conquerors. Although they did get one back. I'm not sure how well this exchange is going to go though. And he's in the backs now, the Spider. It's a difficult thing to ignore. But he's being eyed up by one of them mechs there. Yeah, look at that firing line they've got set up, Robinson Rangers. That's brilliant. Walking into that is a lot of damage to be taken. They're now 3-1 up on Robinson Rangers from, I think, from the headhunters just being too spread out to push around that corner. They're able to take out a few of their mechs at a time there. And they are falling. The mechs are falling now. The lights are trying to get out there. Look at the corpses. Here we see the Robinson Rangers lights coming in. They come in like a flanking maneuver around the back there, taking out a Shadowhawk and a Raven. Here they come in, mopping up. Look at the lights running. They've got no more heavy support. They do not want to be the focus now. You can't cap within the first 6 minutes in this drop, so it's not like they can go off and try and cap. This is not going to go well. They're not able to get out of there. And they're not doing very effective damage while they're running away. So this is great. This is Robinson Rangers doing exactly what headhunters were doing at the end of the drop. They're just mopping up those lights. Heavy's coming in. Everyone's going to be racing to get these kills now. I want the kill. I want to look good on the scoreboard at the end. Yeah, that Raven's not long in the world. That was a brutal strike. Nice shot. He's lost his leg. He's going. Oh, is this Spider going to survive the last few seconds of the match? Oh, if he gets that leg. He's going for it. They know they've lost it now, the headhunters, but they're just trying to get those extra kills. Look. Oh, shut down. He's going to survive his shutdown. That is the last mech. and the spider goes down. Well played, Robinson Rangers. That firing line was beautiful, beautifully executed. Headhunters a little too spread out to come round that corner. If they're going to come round into a firing line, you need to bring all your mechs around there at the same time. And again, I'd say that it was almost scouting maybe decided it. Brilliant position from Robinson Rangers. Really enjoyed that. Well, that puts the match at 1-1. Both teams still well in the game. You can see they are well-matched teams. Brilliant fight so far. Now move on to the flank engagement, where each team only takes 2 lights, with 4 mediums, 4 heavies and 2 assaults. Both teams decided to go with 2 Atlas DDCs as their assaults. Atlas DDCs, probably anyone who plays the game knows that they are nasty if they get up close. They're not very fast mechs, but if they get up close they can really hurt. But that's where the similarities end. The California Conquerors went with an Orion Protector, an Orion VA, the VA being the missile hands Orion, so you can be a good brawler with the SRMs or an LRM mech. They've got 2 Ilya Muramets, 4 Shadowhawks, they love their Shadowhawks, 2 Jenna Ds. Robinson Rangers Brigade went for their heavies. They went for 1 Ilya Muramets, 1 Cataphract 4X, 1 Jaeger S, and 1 mech that I couldn't tell what it was because of a bug on the score screen. They also went with 1 Trebuchet, 1 Hunchback, 1 Blackjack, 1 Wolverine and 2 Spiders. You can see from them choices that the California Conquerors have chosen what they think is for the best for the weight class, and Robinson Rangers have pretty clearly allowed pilots to choose the mech that they prefer. I mean, there's some advantage to taking mechs when a pilot has practiced a lot in it. But when things get competitive, there's no doubt that some mechs are just better at their role. They've got better hardpoint locations, or they can load the kind of combinations of weapons that really change how powerful a mech is. So maybe them choices will swing the result one way or another. This third drop you see is being played on Terra Firma. Not a favourite on the competitive scene because of its size more than anything. I think a lot of teams don't like the fact that they can get capped easily. Here you can see the Headhunters of Davion are set up around one of the volcanoes here to try and scout them out, try and see where they're at. But here Robinson Rangers are setting up in the middle. You can see they've taken that middle quite confidently now. They're poised to do what they want from the middle there. It's a nice place to control. The spiders moving around trying to find where they're at. They can decide what they're doing once they've found, and they've found one of the scouts there who's that Jenner is not aware that spider's looking at him right now. And yeah, it's not great intel knowing where their other scouts are, especially when there's only 2 lights on the field, but he can probably get a nice shot off on him here. Line it up, get that leg, yep, nice shot. And that's well, it's a little bit of initial damage, but that is going to let the California Conquerors know that there is a mech there. So he's probably going to have a look round now. And the spider now moves. The the Robinson Rangers spider starts moving around, checking out the base area, and that gets told to everyone on the team now. They can tell them spiders are on their own. There's no way the other heavy mechs have got up there with them yet. So they're going to try and take that spider down when they spot him there. These Jenna Ds with their streaks, the enemy of the spider. Like I say, the spider is only really scared of streaks. Here we go. They're going to try and get them now. Try and get him before he gets out there. Getting that initial kill is really going to change things. If they can do it before the spider gets away. It's so hard. But here, what happens here, there's a bug on Terra Firma where sometimes, for some reason, the map thinks you're permanently in lava when you're not. And that's why he's overheated that mech there. And you can see if you look down at the paper doll in the bottom left there, he's taking damage on the legs. That's the bug where it thinks he's permanently in lava when he's clearly not. He's probably wondering why am I taking damage on my legs, and he's telling his team in a moment. It's an annoying bug. It's been in there since Terra Firma come out, and he is going to die from that, and that's a big problem. Well, a problem because that's going to put them a mech down, and then it needs to be that the team needs to find a way to win it now. and it's over the 1 minute mark as well. There's a 1 minute mark where if there's a bug in the game, you can report it and you can mulligan the game and restart it. Because it's gone over the 1 minute, the rules are the rules, and you can't restart. So now there's some conversation that goes on between the two teams. They're trying to decide what to do. I believe the California Conquerors wanted to redrop, but as per the rules, Robinson Rangers wanted to play on. It's difficult these days to ask for a redrop because it can be hard to sync to get these drops in without private lobbies. Coming soon, TM. But yeah, it's going to be played on. Here you can see the Spiders from Robinson Rangers just scouting around. They go back to their base just to check they're not being capped. Their heavy force stays in the middle. They're pretty pleased with that position in the middle there. The conversation's still going on, I think, but they're going to still keep scouting, playing on the game. Yeah, they're not found anything back at their base here. That's the one thing about Terra Firma. It's one thing I find when I'm playing the map, that you're always wondering, has something slipped past you? It's really difficult to trust that you have scouted the entire map and can be sure that you're not just about to be capped. And in this drop you can cap at any point. You get a bonus for C-bills if you destroy all the assaults and heavy mechs of the enemy team. But if you just want to take the victory without that bonus, you know, you might want to just cap anyway. Now the Spiders are moving out, trying to find the enemy team, but the California Conquerors haven't moved past the halfway mark at this point. Once they still having that discussion, I imagine they're just sitting back there waiting for that discussion to happen. Yeah, it's a bad position to be in, one mech down like that, because now on a map like this you've got to make the move. And making a move on this map, especially with the team in the middle there, that's a nightmare. How do you approach that? It's a choke point and it's easy to defend for being in the middle. They decide to play it on here. So now what happens now is they've decided they need to create something, obviously the California Conquerors, so they start moving. Lights start moving up to the middle and the heavy group starts making a move. They don't want to assault the middle here because it would be death. Here you can see the heavy group moving as a group here with a couple of their lights just moving, having a look at the middle. Probably scouting, just checking that nothing's getting past them. Yep, nothing's that way, Spider. Oh, that's not a Spider, sorry, it's a Jenna. They've spotted them in the middle there, they know they're there now. They're going to see most of their mechs. If their DDCs are there, you can guarantee the rest of their heavies are there. RT strikes and airstrikes are allowed in this one, so you might see them try and get a kill from them. They're so devastating now with 40 damage a shell. If you can get a lucky one. You can see the heavy group moving up round the side there. They're going to be visible that close. Maybe they'll have a fight on the side. Which, it's not a bad place to fight. It's not the greatest. You don't really want the enemy team able to take cover so easily as you cross there. It depends how well they're set up for that move. Jenna's going forward here. He's going to try and get an airstrike. He's laid the airstrike, but he pays for it. He pays for it in damage. That's a lot of SRMs hitting him. There goes his leg armor. That's, well, there he goes. He gets a kill from it. Kill from the airstrike there. Paid for it a little bit, yeah, but that's got to be worth it. 40k C bills, and you've just killed a heavy mech. He's still got the airstrike, the artillery strike, sorry, to use there. But that puts them even 1-1, but it doesn't seem to stop the California Conquerors. They're still going to try and get past there. They're getting into their backfield now, so Robinson Rangers must be aware of that. They've just seen them go past on the side. There's a little bit of exchange of fire, but they're being probed from a few angles, so I'm not sure. They're not entirely sure how to handle it. They're going to hold this middle here. They know they've got past. This spider's going to go and have a look. He's seen them go that way, so you can look out the other entrance. Now this is a bad thing to have, your enemy in your backfield here, because it's a threat to your base. So you've either got to threaten their base or you've got to put up a defense now. That spider would be telling his team now that he's seen them go past. But we're not seeing the heavies move. They're still holding that middle. They're probably thinking they're going to be assaulted. They're probably letting them know, look, they're probably going to assault from this entrance. That's where they're all at, the E7 entrance. But the headhunters of Davion, what they're doing here is they've got a few guys just probing. So they've got a couple of Shadowhawks just probing the entrances here. So it makes them feel threatened, the Robinson Rangers. They're feeling like they're just going to be assaulted. Look, they're going to assault us on multiple sides, but they've got absolutely no intention of doing that. The California Conquerors have sent their heavies. They're still moving up there, look, round towards the base. Not a very direct route, and their Atlases are only sporting the standard 300 engine, so they are really slow. But they're now really poised to take this match. If they don't get spotted and there's no response, I'm not even sure that they've got enough time to respond. The Robinson Rangers being in the middle there and having only 2 light mechs, there's no way they can hold off that force for long. So they've actually taken out 3 mechs there, the Robinson Rangers, but that doesn't count for anything if you're going to get your base capped. That's a bug on the mini-map. When you switch people, it just shows the center of the map. He's not actually there, he's just overwatching his base. Here they go, and the cap started. And that is a lot of people on the cap. That is going to go so damn fast. Here come spiders to try and cap. They sent their 2 spiders, the Robinson Rangers, to cap the enemy base, and they've got a little defensive force here. They'd need to take him out, otherwise he'd be able to stop the cap. But his legs are nearly gone. It wouldn't take much to kill him. But look at that. Look, if you look at the top of your screen, you can see how quickly that base is being capped, and they've got no one in range to stop that cap. This game is already decided. It's a nice move, really nice move by the California Conquerors. They thought, yeah, we're going to take this game by a cap win, why not? They've got the middle, we don't need to assault that, we can just take the win. And that was a confident victory, well played. That makes it 2-1 to the California Conquerors, and Robinson Rangers Brigade are going to want to bring their game back to the stunt they pulled off in the second drop. Now the final drop, the centre of battle engagement, we have 8 assaults, 4 heavies and 2 lights. You can only have a maximum of 4 of any chassis, so you're going to be seeing at least 2 types of assault. It's a really slow moving match, the mechs are really slow. It'll be about positioning, like your movement, and crushing caught out mechs. Headhunters of Davion's 6th Battalion, California Conquerors went with 4 DDCs, real nasty brawling force. 2 Highlander 733Cs, a super strong mech in the current game. 2 Ilium Muramets, 1 Firebrand, 1 K2. I know the Firebrand and K2 taking Gauss, a Raven 3L and a Spider. Robinson Rangers Brigade have taken 3 DDCs and a Boar's Head, so 4 Atlases like their counterparts. One Victor, another really strong mech in the current meta, and a Battle Master with LRMs, which can be really strong at this weight if you can really hold those locks and rain it down on the enemy as they move anywhere. They also took one 3D, two Firebrands, a Jaeger double D, a Spider, and an Ember. Here you can see Robinson Rangers. They're moving up to the normal setup position, which is far away from the ridge. The two scouts go down, right down the bottom here. You can actually get quite a nice line of sight over the ridge. Just checking what's over here, and they spot a Raven here. Get a little bit of initial damage. It can't hurt. You can see the heavies are moving. They're going to watch that ridge. They're getting quite spread out. The Spider jumping. He's just going for initial damage. What he's got to worry about here is that he's not really seeing a lot of the enemy team. He's not seeing what they're doing, but he is going for damage here, and that can help. That can getting that initial damage, just soften the targets up, but it's not a lot of damage on a Spider. And the California Conquerors here, they've mostly moved up to the ridge, just over the ridge on the right of where you're looking at now. They've got a lot of their heavy mechs over there. They've spotted that their two lights are down here, so they know they haven't got eyes over there. And if you look on the mini-map, look how spread out they are. Their assaults and heavies there. Being so slow, they're not going to be able to move anywhere fast. It's getting quite decent damage though. But no, it's not really affected a heavy that much. That 3D seems to be sporting a couple of UAC 5s there. Look at this Spider. Look at the way he's jumping here, getting views right across. He can see that their whereabouts all their mechs are. You can see them well set up here to handle. If they get pushed on over that ridge, these mechs are ready for that, to get all firepower on them. But here now, this Spider is going to be reporting where the mechs are at. And you can see the heavies are going to start setting up now. They've decided that they might be able to hit them on the side. Because if you look at a position like this and you see the mechs spread out like that with heavies all the side over there, if you can hit them on a side, you're hitting one or two mechs at a time, and the enemy's just not going to be able to get all the guns on your guys that are hitting that side. A little bit of a arty damage to start off there. They're fairly stationary both sides. You'd expect some good arty damage going in. You can see their DDCs start going into the what's known as the pocket there. Still don't seem to be moving, Robinson Rangers. There's the LRM Battlemaster. And you can see on the minimap there, they're coming over that ridge, they're coming over through the pocket there, and they're starting to hit them on this side. And that is a lot of guns on a few mechs. You're going to see a lot of damage coming down here. I think you're going to see mechs dropping from Robinson Rangers, because them DDCs, if they get in close. And here we go, yep, 2 mechs up already. Because you just can't withstand that kind of firepower from the assaults. It's a nice bit of damage he's getting on the back of that Battlemaster. Yeah, that Battlemaster's just about to pop. Look at his paper doll there. They're 3 mechs up now. The California Conquerors really looking strong. 4 mechs up. I'm going to switch over to the comms of the California Conquerors because this
they are all along the line here.
Foxtrot's hurt bad.
Fox is
all right,
dead.
Fox
Sure.
is down.
Keep pushing, keep pushing. I want the Atlases. If you can hit them, hit
They
those
are
freaking
gonna-
Atlases hard.
They're breaking. They're breaking.
All right, push. I want full
Dropping
push.
airstrike. Watch it. Dropping artillery up front.
Yeah, I dropped one too.
Raz, drop back just
They're
a
fun.
little bit.
I got.
Raj.
Light mechs cover our base. Make sure our base
I'm
can't be
dropping
tapped.
P4.
Copy, confirm.
Get out of there. Scatter, 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 scatter.
Scatter. All right, hit Atlas. Hotel's gone. All right, keep pushing, keep pushing. Target of opportunity.
the Atlases.
India.
India, 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 India.
India is shredded.
All right, here we go.
Phoenix.
Echo, Ember, Echo, Ember.
Hit that spider when you can.
You've got several C3. Watch
All right,
your backs.
move back to C3. Move back to C3. Get good firing line on
You've
that
got 2
drop
different
ship.
assaults.
Nav is
I'm
capping
needing help.
because he's a stick.
I'm needing help.
Atlas.
Kilo, Boar's Head.
Kilo,
Kilo.
Head.
Kilo primary. I want
Charging.
other Atlas secondary.
Mike.
Mike
Mike.
is primary now.
Mike is going down.
Mike is getting
Mike is going down.
annihilated.
All right, Mike's
Mike's
down.
dead.
I want that
God,
other Atlas
on
dead,
Lima.
guys.
On Lima.
Leave his card.
Alright, on this stupid.
Firebrand
All right.
as well.
I want this firebrand dead.
Light
He is
mechs rejoin the
annihilated.
fight.
Alright.
Buddy.
Last one.
Who wants the
Matter.
party favor?
Dump on the spider.
You know, you guys should just lick him and let me tap.
You got him, Wolf. I'm right here with you. You got him.
He's lagged.
Alright. Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Hell yes, gentlemen.
What?
Nice
Oh,
job,
he got
yeah.
full damage.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Nice
I
job.
love it.
Congrats,
They really enjoyed that match, and that was a
Beautiful,
well-deserved
beautiful.
win. That was absolutely brilliant from the California Conquerors. Scouting was fantastic. They spotted where they were at, and they thought, yeah, we're going to crush them from that side. And they execute that brilliantly. That's 3-1 to the California Conquerors in the first match, and absolutely brilliant. I think 3 things won it for the California Conquerors, and that was scouting, scouting, and scouting. You could see there their spiders did a brilliant job. They paid for their weight tenfold. Absolutely superb. Robinson Rangers really showing that they were a well-matched team to go against the California Conquerors there, but on the day they just got caught out a couple of times, and that really paid it for them. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these teams do in their next matches, what they'll change or what they'll work on, because that was fantastic to watch. It way better than I hoped. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm looking forward to covering more matches for you. Can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings.